What about now?
Yes, yes, sir. All right, we're good.
All right. Thank you.
Excellent. Awesome. Well, welcome, Keith. Give everyone a quick intro on RecruitVirtual, and then we'll check out your software.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as you know, we've been in the space for a long time. We started out actually as the first developer of programmatic job fair distribution software. So, think like an Appcast or a Jovio for job fairs and recruiting events. And we learned a whole lot, obviously, about job fairs and about the programmatic space, and a whole lot about job fair marketing. And a few of the things that we learned included that job seekers are really bad at email and they're really bad at passwords. And so if you can alleviate them of the burden of email and passwords, you get way higher attendance. And so our software is probably newer than all of the other folks demoing their software today. It's really, for us, version 2 of our job fair software. And we built it with that premise that job seekers are challenged with email, and they're challenged with anything that's not mobile, and they're challenged with passwords. And so let's just eliminate that for the job seeker. So with our platform, when you register, you immediately opt into email and text messaging campaigns that are delivered via MMS. But if you never receive the email, you can still get everything that you need to get your reminders, your confirmation, your reminders, and your day of, the link to get into the event. You can come to the event and enter the mobile number with which you registered and get a one-time passcode. So it's entirely passwordless, state-of-the-art security, just like some cutting-edge systems right now that your bank might be using to let you in without a password. And yeah, so that's sort of our approach. We try to keep the user interface really slick and streamlined. We try to be super flexible on our pricing. And so our pricing is such that a customer could pay per event. They could purchase bundles and get a discount, or they could purchase on a subscription if they need it more regularly. And we just basically, when customers ask us what it costs, we say, how do you want to pay? So we always work it out. We never turn down a sale with a good customer. So did you want some tips on running a successful event?
Yeah, give us one quick tip for running successful, and then share your screen after that.
One quick tip. I think planning broadcast video, we have a broadcast video feature that is really compelling when it's put to use. And so we always tell our customers, plan to use that broadcast video in a smart way. One way that we see some of the best customers using it is they'll actually schedule team leaders or star players in their company to present briefly about their work life, about their thoughts on the job and the company and things like that. So you can actually schedule broadcast video just as if you had your own miniature television station all about your company.
Awesome.
All right. Let me get my screen shared here. All right, so we'll start out here. We've got two different user roles that we'll talk about today in addition to job seekers. It's the organizer and then the recruiter. The organizer is going to be sort of the primary person in charge of managing that event or setting it up, and that could be a professional job fair organizer. We work with those folks all the time. Or it could be whoever's taking the lead on an HR team at an individual employer. And so they can, in their account, they can create their events, and they can control all of the variables of that event, write their turnkey, so the name of the event, a subtitle, the description if they want that, and all sorts of formatting for that description. They can also upload images, for instance, if they wanted to tile images of the different booths or the different brands that would be in attendance for that particular event. They can add links, and they can add start date, and end date, start time and end time, and they can control the look of that event entirely. And so this is one of the ways that they customize the event landing page. As soon as an event is pressed, we give a public URL back to that organizer so that they can share that with whomever they need, or they can start promoting their event right away. When job seekers register, we require first name and last name, email address, and mobile number. But registrants could also complete a virtually limitless set of additional questions if an organizer wanted to do that. We all know the more questions, the more friction you have on signups, the more drop-off. But when we're doing events for folks, say, who require a secret clearance, it's a deal breaker if you don't have one. So they may have a hard screening question in there, And if you don't have a secret clearance and you indicate that, our registration form is going to tell you you're not qualified to come to the event. So at the event level, you can use those questions to either get more information from people for your own database, or you can actually filter people out that might be unqualified, right? So you can make those questions whatever you want, and they can be required, or they can be what we call hard, which means that you have to get a certain answer to proceed. You can view your registration list, and you can drill down into that list after the event and see reconciliation. Did the people attend or not? And you can always see a how heard, so where those folks came from, right? We're tracking that using the last click methodology to help you with your marketing. All of that information can be exported, of course, manually, or it can be pulled out through our RecruitVirtual Connect API in any of a variety of languages for import to your ATS or your CRM. And you can also import registrants if you have your own list and you want to bring those people in and get them into the email and text messaging campaign leading up to the event. So you could bring in, registrants from wherever, through a marketing campaign that we run, through your own marketing campaign, or through an existing list that you have, say from a talent community. It's really easy for an organizer to add booths and to add recruiters. It's as simple as clicking the Add Booth button and adding a name for that booth. That's just a placeholder. You save that and that booth's been created. As soon as you do that, you can go back and add a recruiter. Again, as simple as just adding an email address only if need be, and that recruiter gets the invite. As your recruiters are invited, they can take over and start managing all aspects of their booth, from the presentation in the lobby to the name of their booth, to their personal presentation and how they're displayed in the booth, and all of the content that they want to create in the booth. So again, the organizer can do this, or the recruiter can do this. I know for our professional organizers, a lot of times they'll say, oh, my customer can do this, or we, for an upcharge can do it for you. So we like to give organizers, professional organizers, a lot of great ways to make more revenue. We work with a lot of professional organizers, but also with direct employers as well.
Gotcha.
All right, going to switch over here to the public side. This is just I'm no sort of designer, so this is just a little demo page that I made for today, the Tesla Solar Job Fair event. And this is where a description would show up. But again, you could have, images over here, whatever else you want to do. Register. Okay, it's the basic registration. Resume too. If you don't,
you broke up there a bit. I wanted to ask you a question, which was, how effective has the mobile piece been for you guys as far as converting the candidates to come to the event, things like that? I imagine it's been pretty effective.
Yeah, things that we with text message, just this, but rate on mail is 50 to 65%. Open rate on text message is like 95%. Deliverability is, again, style. Deliverability on email really low. Yahoo and Gmail are all looking for reasons to flag mail as spam. So it's really just, in our situation, the job seekers can sign up. If they never receive the email, they get everything they need to attend the event. Let's say I registered as a job seeker and come back same browser. We recognize the encrypt cookie that you signed up with, and we let you straight into the event. Let's say I switched browsers, I cleared my cookies, or I'm on a different device now. I just come back. I've already registered. I click this button to sign in. I enter the phone number with which I registered. I request my code, and in real time, I get a 4-digit login code. So I never have to have a password. I never have to stop and look up my password. At the event start time, you get the link to join. Most of our job seekers roll right in with that. So from a conversion standpoint, it's just been huge.
Yeah, that's pretty unique. I like that.
Thank you. All right, so there's what the front of the event looks like. If the job seeker were to get into this particular event, it would look something like this when they come in. Of course, the organizer and recruiter have all of the control over, what booths are here and what content those booths present. And then, of course, when you get into a booth, what's available. I did recycle this event, so when we get in here, we'll see that I have actually some content for Allstate, I think. Were I doing the live video stream, it would be the most prominent tab in the booth right when you come in. I'm not going to do the live video stream right now because, as you know, video and video or audio and audio sometimes causes a lot of feedback. So I don't want to do that to our viewers. But that would be front and center when you come into the booth. And then you could add unlimited content, that's text-based, links, images. You can add videos. Embedded, and then so in addition to the live stream video, embedded videos for asynchronous viewing, and then we have a jobs module. We actually allow jobs to be posted in any of 3 different ways. You can use our internal job module with quick apply. That's the easiest for the job seeker, but it doesn't work for all employers because it's not necessarily going to be compliant with their OFCC reporting. And then we've got a variation of that where you use our jobs module, but the click out goes to the ATS so that the applicant actually goes to the corporate ATS for tracking purposes. And then, of course, you can just skip our jobs module completely and load up links to your jobs and go directly to the ATS, which is the most rapid way for the recruiter to set that up. So if they're worried about time, they can completely skip our jobs module and still load all their jobs up right there.
Okay. About a minute or so.
Okay, so from the recruiter's perspective, there are all sorts of things to do in here, but we'll focus on chat. When I go in, I see a job seeker waiting for me in the chat queue. When I click on them, I see a preview of all of that job seeker's information. Notice we have a really clean user interface. So I have acted as a recruiter for an entire event on my mobile phone. So, people say they're mobile first, but you can run an entire event on your phone as the recruiter here. So I can see all of this job seeker's information. I could right click and open this resume in line, but for purposes of time, I'm going to go ahead and now that I've seen the preview of this job seeker, invite them into chat. Once I'm in chat, I see a summary of their profile and my canned responses start firing. I could go ahead and initiate a video chat conversation. Right? I've got all of these great canned responses that I can use to keep me from having to type a whole lot. Right, with my job seeker. And if I had other job seekers dropping into this queue, I could click and manage between them. I would see a bubble each time one of them responded. I've managed up to about 6 job seekers at once. I think we have some recruiters that can manage 8 or 10 job seeker conversations right here. Once I'm finished with this job seeker, I can exit and leave a review. So I can set an applicant status. I could block this person if they've done something unbecoming, or if they just keep coming back and I need to spend time with other folks. I can give them a rating. I can leave a free form review. And I could share from right here with a hiring manager, which sends a summary of this, the job seeker and their resume, to whomever I'd like to share it with. Or I can just save this for discovery. All of that content that I've talked about is available here. So previewing the event, managing my chats, hosting a live broadcast, posting my jobs, creating my content pages. It's all right here. I can manage my qualifying questions. I can go back and I have discovery on all of this stuff. So when I go into any other page in my booth, I see the number of visitors in my booth, who's waiting to chat, and the number of active chats. I could click right here to be immediately transported back to chat so that I don't miss anyone. And I can go through here and search all my job seekers and discover 100% of the reviews. If a job seeker chatted with multiple recruiters during the day on the same team in the same booth, I'd be able to see all those conversations and maybe reconcile the different reviews or ratings, and I'd be able to see all of the conversations. So it's all there 100% for discovery.
Very nice, very nice. Well, I like the clean interface, Keith, and I love the chat, the text function as well. So
awesome.
Pretty cool stuff. Definitely impressed all the platforms today, but those are a couple of my favorite aspects of yours so far. So, well, appreciate you joining us, Keith, and thanks for your time today, and have a great one.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Thanks for having us. Take care.
Awesome.